Today I'm going to take you through the many ways to blend your makeup with our very own Jafra blender sponge. Our blender sponge is perfection. It just has so many uses. It doesn't absorb the product, it applies flawless application, and it keeps application clean and easy. Let's start blending, beauties. As you see here, this is how the blender sponge comes straight out of the package. It's firm and dry. To activate the sponge and for optimal use, soak it in water for a few moments and wring it out. Beauty tip alert! If you'd like to achieve a dewy look, you can begin to apply your foundation right away while the blender is still pretty moist. For medium to full coverage application, you can pat dry the blender sponge with a paper towel or face it down. Because I prefer a more medium to full coverage application, I'm going to pat dry my blender sponge before I begin with product. I've gone ahead and prepped my face with a thin layer of the Jafra mattifying primer and will begin applying my foundation with the blender sponge. I'm using the Longwear Broad Spectrum Foundation in Honey. Because the blender sponge can be used in multiple ways, I will start by using the rounded, wide side of the blender to apply foundation all over my face. This side is the best for an all-over seamless application. It allows you to cover a large area with the same texture and blending abilities. Next, I'm going to use the CC Cream Concealer in Light, right under my eyes to brighten and add dimension to my overall complexion. I like to apply the product directly onto the area so the heat of my skin warms up the product and blends better. Now that I have my concealer on, I'm going to blend it out using the slanted edge part of the sponge in 3 directions to allow for a more precise application and flawless blend. With these edges, you're able to get right into the hard to reach places like the corners of the eye and under the bottom lash line. I'm going to use both tapping and soft, short sweeping motions, depending on the area. Now I'm going to use the CC Cream Concealer in Deep D6 to lightly contour. I'll stripe under my cheekbones, along my jawline, and around the edges of my hairline. I'll use the large, round side of the sponge as I apply with a dabbing, stippling, and shaping technique to blend the product in evenly. Shaping helps to move the product and dabbing helps to blend harsh lines out into the foundation. To add a little pop of color, I'll add Jafra's Cream Blush in Cashmere Peach. A little goes a long way here, so I'm going to make sure I'm light-handed with the application by picking up very little product and tapping it onto the cheekbones and working it upward. To set and complete the look, we will finish blending using powders. I'll pour some of Jafra's Skin Perfecting Translucent Loose Powder into the lid of the container and load up the slanted side of my sponge, gently tapping out any excess product and pressing the setting powder onto the area I just concealed. I'll leave the extra product on my face for a few moments and then brush it off with my powder brush. To highlight and give more depth to my bone structure, I'll take the blender sponge and Jafra's High Shine Eyeshadow Single in Pink Pearl and our amazing makeup setting spray. I'll load up the blender sponge with the Pink Pearl eyeshadow and spritz the makeup setting spray on top of that, stippling both products onto the tops of my cheekbones for a luminescent highlight. My favorite thing about the combination is that the makeup setting spray creates this pearlescent texture paired with a hint of shimmer, and it also keeps the product on all day. Now to finish up my look, I'm going to set my foundation with a dusting of the translucent loose setting powder and a light mist of the makeup setting spray on the rest of my face. How fun was that, Jafra beauties? I hope you're excited and ready to play with your blender sponge after watching this. Until next time, happy blending, beauties.